Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Tier 3. And yes, I am back after a small period of where I may or may not have overslept. We're back in Abu Dhabi for the final round. We have a total of, I think, 19 drivers in today. We're trying to get one in. He's just having issues on his side. I'm joined by Jon, but we also want to go through the championship standings. So without further ado, let us have a gander, shall we? So looking at the driver standings, Alvaro leads with about 207 points to Yudi, who has 198. Average in third with 195, and Craigery with 167. Pele back in P5 with 161, and then Nick Jew in 6th with 148. It's a top 3 battle for the championship between Alvaro, Yudi, and Tomo, so that's going to be an interesting race nonetheless. Then we possibly go on to the team standings. Mercedes lead with 374 points to Sauber by about, give or take, about 50 points, 60 points. So Mercedes are Constructor Championships already. And with that done in the way, we can now get on to qualifying. I am here joined by Jon. Hi, Jon.
Hello, Banana. How are we?
Doing good, my friend. Doing good. Good. So, are you ready for qualifying?
Yeah, it's going to be a long one. It's going to be one where we can see all the drivers catching up with one another, mainly watching UD, Tomo, and Alvaro as well. But it'll be a good one to watch.
My monster won't open. Open! There we go. Oh, that's going to be one long day. Oh, God. Almost dropped it. So we're going to get Dodjo in. Good.
Yeah, it is.
Alright. So, Nimblecat on outlap, and he'll be the first one to settle up here in Abu Dhabi. The Red Bull currently sitting P12 in the standings with 65 points. You'd think Nimble would have a lot more, no?
I would, but obviously I've watched some of Nimble's races. He even knows that he's not been on form this season. He knows he's had a few issues, and he's working on them for next season as well. So he's going to put up his game next season and bring on a championship fight, I think.
Oh yeah, 100%. As we go round turn 15 and in towards the final corner here in Abu Dhabi at turn 16. We're on board with Nimblecat as he starts his first flying lap, heading down towards turn 1. And then we go towards turn 2. So round turn 1 and then down towards, rather up towards turn 2. And then turn 3, the long right-hander, as we go back down the hill in towards sector 2. And around turn 4 and then turn 5 at the hairpin. So as we go in towards the hairpin now, Nimblecat's got his teammate right behind him, just getting a little bit, maybe a little bit of slipstream, possibly, kind of almost. As we go all the way down towards turn 6 and 7, the DRS is activated as the Red Bull heads in towards 6. Now, a nice little chicane here uphill, very difficult overtaking area, I would say. I mean, if you go to the inside, make it too wide, it's going to be hard on the exit. As we got another DRS coming up, and then all the way in towards the long left-hander of turn 9. Recently changed from a complex section to a just one singular corner as we go around turn 10, 11, and then in towards turn 12 as we go around the hotel section here in Yas Marina as we go around 13 and then round at 14. And then back on the power, heading around down towards turn 15, and then the final corner of turn 16. What can Nimblecat produce here in qualifying? The first lap is set, and it's a 1:24.647. Vincenzo goes, and that's not Vincenzo, that's Jabba, so Jabba's reserving today. As Craigery goes 23.791. The McLaren of Lanzi goes fourth fastest with a 24.666. As we do have a few other cars coming up to the line. That's going to be Podge coming around the final corner now as we go up to the line on board with the Haas. And the V-car right behind him. Podge goes fifth as then F7 VRB goes second as the McLaren of Maggi goes up to sixth position with a 24.808. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. 8 0 8. Kevin Gamer
As Kevin's
crosses the
about to
line.
finish his
There you
lap.
go. I was going to say, are you going to talk, Jan?
Sorry, it was on mute and I was commentating his lap. But Kevin sets a 27.4, whilst Alvaro goes fastest with a 23.4.
Championship leader is definitely stepping up today. About time, Alvaro. P12 for Gravy Brain, 26,670. And then we do have a Williams of Doug crossing the line, who goes 7th.
That's now Tojo about to cross the line as well. He goes
13th.
His lap was, I believe, valid. Oh, he goes 13th. I must have lagged. Next man will be on our lap will be big man Nathan here.
I think we should stay on board with Nathan to see how bad he does. Come on, Nathan.
Nathan will crack on with this one.
Yeah.
And
Round.
into the final corner. And now going down into turn 1 with Nathan. He burns his battery a little bit there. As now he hasn't got any DRS for the moment. He goes into turn 1, gets the job done, grabs the apex on the right, on the left hand side there. Into turn 2, goes a little bit wide, doesn't want to grab the apex. Into turn 3, goes a little bit wide again, but gets on that curb to have a bit of overslip with the car. Through turn 4 we go. Now down into turn 5, where the DRS detection point is, and he goes a little bit wide here from the seams of things. No, he doesn't. He gets the car rotated perfectly on the exit of turn 5. Now, as we've got the DRS, now he's burning a bit of that battery again. Going down into turn 6 here, with that Haas behind him, getting a faint little toe there as well. Tricky braking zone here. You don't want to grab too much of the brakes, because if you do, you might lock up and overslip the tyres. But into turn 6, through turn 7 we go. Now, on the exit of turn 7, gets the car straight into the little kink of known as turn 8. Gets it done, put DRS wide open again as well here. Nathan not making any mistakes. He's using a lot of that battery to his advantage. Is his fastest sector 2 so far. Into turn 9 we go now. Through turn 9, gets it done, doesn't have any over slides through the corner. Into turn 10, a little kink as well here. Another into turn 11, down into another heavy braking zone, which is quite tight of turn 11. Now through turn 12, don't want to grab that curb edge, you'll start sliding the tyres. Through turn 13, again, don't want to go off the track a bit too much, or you'll slide us there. Nathan, prime example there, and he'll continue with his lap here to try and get something on the board. Into the final corner, he's got no more deploy. He's used all of his deploy, but he goes a 24.8.
11th, wow. Somehow with that massive snap heading around turn 14, he still sets a pretty decent lap time here for qualifying. As I'm pretty sure it's still full qualifying, so the bottom 4 will get eliminated. Kevin Gamer, Super Skills, Cinders and Judy at the moment, and 3 of the drivers I've named have not set a lap time yet. And one of them's just about to cross the line to start one. So we're on board with Yudi now on down towards turn number 1. But we also have Kevin Gamer out there as well, starting an out lap. So we're on board with Yudi though, because he's going to be the next driver to set a lap as he goes around at turn 3 and then down towards turn 4 and in towards sector 2 we go. Purple sector 1 for Yudi as we go around the long hairpin of turn 5. And back on to the DRS straight. The DRS wing flap opens as we go all the way down towards turn 6. As we see Super Skills in the background of Yudi, the Sauber now going in towards the chicane at 6 and turn 7. As he goes through 6, round turn 7, back on the power, activate the DRS on the exit. As we go all the way down towards turn 9 with the DRS. As Nick Jew has finally gotten onto the game. We go round at turn 9 on board with Yudi, who sets a purple sector 2. This could be a great lap from the Sauber as he comes round the final, give or take 7 corners. We go through 10, 11, 12, round at turn 13 now as we go underneath the hotel at 14. And then coming through Latifi corner up towards turn 15. And then the final corner of turn 16. As let's see what Yudi can set here in Abu Dhabi. Up to the line he comes, and it's going to be P6 for the Sauber, 24.061 for Yudi as Super Skills crosses the line and start his final run. But we're on board with Kevin Gamer, unless Nathan is on a lap. Unless Lanzi. Maybe Lanzi, actually. No, yeah, Lanzi's not pushing. Nathan's pushing? Question mark?
Nathan is pushing, but he's not got the fuel to finish his lap though.
You might have enough fuel to finish the lap, but you might not have enough fuel to, have an in lap as well.
believe Nick needs an invite.
I will send him one.
I haven't got him added.
I have got him on Steam, so it just makes it easier. There he is. I'm just going to spam him with a...
Top 10 ways to annoy people.
Yep. Especially when it's a Steam notification. Oh, that's stuck on his PC now. Oh.
I've also just noticed my camera settings aren't even straight. Oh my god.
Crazy.
That's horrible. As Nathan goes P8, 5 temps up on his lap.
Not bad from Nathan. I am attempting to read chat. If I can figure out... There we go. There we go. Righty. Who's on a lap? We got the Ferrari of Kevin Gamer and Super Skills. Super Skills goes 13th fastest as the Haas crosses the lane behind them. That's Podge. I think just about to start a lap. He goes through turn 1. We do have a V-carb of Red Wildfire coming through Latifi corner around at turn 15 and turn 16. The V-carb now going up to the line as Red sets a 24.4, goes P9. We do have a Red Bull. That's going to be Nimblecat on an outlap, and the Aston Martin of Pellyback on an outlap. Good, good.
Podge is on a lap. He's going down now into turn 6. And he's going to go on the heavy on the brakes yet again. Does he lock up? No, he gets the car done. He gets it through smoothly through turn 7. Grabs a bit of the curb there, which can offset your car. And it's not really optimal to take the curb, but through turn 8, the little kink of tiny corner. Again, now through turn, going into turn 9. Is he going to grab too much of the curb on the inside and slide the rears? No, he's not. He's going to go a little bit wide there, but not too wide. Grabs the curb on apex on the left hand, on the right hand side. But now through turn 10, into turn 11, now turn 12, gets the job done. Doesn't have any sliding through turn 13, now into 14. Will he do what Nathan did at all? Get off the track a bit? No, he doesn't. He gets it through turn 14. Now into turn 15, now final corner of turn 16. Goes a little bit slow there, a bit hesitant to get on the throttle from the seams of things, but he does improve by 6 temps.
I mean, to be fair, Nathan, he asked for an invite and I sent him like 5 already. I may not have spammed Nick.
Red goes into the pits this lap. Podge not on a lap, as he did just finish his, but DMB Super Skills on the medium compound, about to start a lap here as well on the exit of turn 16, but that's the Aston Martin of Pellyback ahead of him. So we'll go on board with no, it wasn't Pellyback, it was Tojo, sorry. As Tojo goes through turn 4 here now, into turn 5, goes down a little straight, no, sorry, it is turn 4, into turn 4 here. Now down into turn 5, he's a 10th up on his time on the soft compound tyre. He needs to get out of Q1 with this lap, but easy possible. Gets his flat exit, doesn't go wide through turn 5, gets the job done, gets the DRS wide open, and uses some of that battery to his advantage. He gets a faint toe from the Alpine ahead of him. That Alpine, I believe, is going to be
Cinders.
Is Cinders ahead there. Tojo gets it done, doesn't lock up, grabs a bit of the curb, number 99 here. There's a bit of the curb on exit. It's going to offset his car just a tiny bit. So he's going to lose a little bit of time, but not enough. But now, going down into turn 9 here, is will he do what anyone else has done? Maybe grab too much of the curb and slide the rears. Goes a little bit wide. Can grab the curb on the right-hand side. He does grab the curb, a lot of the curb. Into turn 11, turn 10, now turn 11, through turn 12 we go. Grabs the apex there, gets it done. As going through turn 13, goes a little bit wide there, but gets a better exit through turn 14. And now turn 15, he grabs the curb again. You'll be using a lot of the curbs, but he's used all of his battery here. He's not going to have any deploy left, but now through turn 16, he goes P8, 9 temps up on his lap there.
Yeah, not a bad lap time from the Aston Martin of Tojo, as we do have a Red Bull coming through. That's going to be Nimblecat on an outlap. As Lanzi is on it and improve the lap as he comes around turn 14.
Ahead of Gravy Rain.
Yeah. Must be getting ready up as Lanzi now rounds the final corner in the McLaren.
Whilst Lanzi is a few temps up on his time, will they go through? They go 4 temps up, which puts them P8, knocking down the Aston Martin in P9.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, Sauber. Where is he? Yudi. Yudi's not on a lap. Great. The Ferrari? Nope. Who's on a lap? The Alpine? No. Is it MD on a lap?
Seems to be on a Nimble Cat seems
Nimble?
to be on a lap here.
Dog's retired. Where's Nimble? Oh. Alright, on board with Nimble Cat, going down the DRS straight between turns 8 and turn 9. As we go in towards sector 3 at turn 9, the Red Bull currently about 1.5 tenths down on his lap time. We do have an Aston Martin ahead. I think that's going to be Tojo, but I don't think he's on a lap. His Nimble Cat comes round 13 and then under the hotel section as we go up towards turn 15 and then all the way towards turn 16. What can Nimble Cat set in the final qualifying here this season? It's going to be P15, and it's a no improvement from Nimble Cat. Is Magi up to the line now? A 10th up, but doesn't beat Nimble Cat as his teammate of Lanzi, currently sitting 8th, is about to come through the final 2 corners, but he's not improving his lap time as he goes into the pit lane. And Jabba behind on an outlap, as well as the Ferrari of Kevin Gamer, who's just heading around at turn 10, 11, and then in towards turn 12. So what can the Scarlet Ferrari do in the last couple moments of Q1?
You can obviously go a bit faster to try to get out of Q1, as Kevin hasn't got out of Q1 before, has he? I don't think.
No, I don't think he has.
He is going to push on with a lap here, but it's not enough. No, I think he might just be trying to do some tyre wear gathering there.
Yeah.
Super skills. He's gotten into Q3 before, in tier 2, I believe, which was quite impressive. Yudi retires there. But obviously, next season, Kevin's going to come back better, hopefully, and he's going to try to put on a show for everyone. He is a good driver, Kevin, but he just hasn't got the pace at times with driving, has he?
Yeah, it's a shame.
Whilst the Gravy Brain finished his lap, there's a DMD Super Skills about to start his lap up here as well.
I think it'll be Jabba.
Few moments. So we go. DMD Super Skills starts his outlap, finishes outlap onto his push lap now. As we go down into turn 1, he's in a hot lap. He hasn't used some of that battery as much as others have used. Goes a bit onto the curb on the right hand side, a bit too much maybe. Gets it through turn 2 there, turn 3, now turn 4. Bit wide, but he gets it done. Gets the DRS detection point. Got a little bit of battery to abuse here on the straight. Gets it through turn 5. Doesn't go wide at all. He does grab the apex and gets a very smooth exit here, as he's got his DRS, but he's not burning any of that battery. He's just leaving it in that one mode to use the ERS and slowly recharge it into the heavy braking zone of turn 6 here. Gets it done, grabs the apex of turn 6 into turn 7, grabs the apex there as well. Gets a perfect exit there. We don't see that very often here, but he does get it done, and he's got his DRS into turn 8 now. As he goes through turn 8, no, he's already gone through turn 8 into turn 9, sorry. Wow. It goes a little bit wide there, but not too much. He's going to grab the curb probably on the right-hand side like every other driver has done, and yes, he does. Doesn't get it a bit tight, just lets the car rotate itself through turn 10 here and turn 12, sorry, into turn 13. Goes under the hotel section now. Turn 14 is where he's going to try and gain some of that time, and he does gain a bit of time there. It was a faster exit from his other laps we've seen through turn 15 now into the final corner of turn 16. Bit hesitant to get on the throttle there, but he gets on the throttle and he burns the battery, and he goes P6, 7 tenths upon his time.
Yeah, 24.036 for Super Skills, as we do have a Haas car coming around the final couple corners. That is going to be Podge, who's half a tenth up right now as the Haas comes around the final corner. What can Podge do in the final sector? He goes 13th fastest, 0.134 up on his lap time, as we do have, I think that's Nick due on track.
Nick is invalidated his lap. He is out of qualifying.
Oh no, Nick.
Just got it through turn 12 as he was going through it. He went a bit invalidated. He invalidated just by a tiny amount, and that has cost him entrance into Q2.
Yeah, and that's the end of qualifying with Kevin not improving either. So, yeah, Alvaro on technical pole position for Q1. So let's see what he can do in Q2. Peleback on 2nd, and then Craigery 3rd. Tomo 4th. Wow, okay. And Yuri all the way down in 7th position. He's going to need to improve a massive amount in qualifying if he wants to have any hopes at even trying to win the title from Alvaro.
I believe that might be Nick's first ever Q1 exit, that.
No, I think there's been more. Anyways, on to the racers, qualifying 1 results. Alvaro has gotten on to P1, followed by Pelevac in P2 and Gregory P3, followed by Tomo, VRB, Super Scales, Yuri, Jabba, Lanzi, Tojo, Nathan, Cinders, Podge, Red, and Doug going to Q2, as Nick, Kevin, Gravy, Magi, and Nimble all don't make it, unfortunately. So they're at qualifying for the next 2 sessions, and they will be back on the track for the race.
That's not ideal. Can I have an invite, please, Banana? Hello?
1 second, you're talking to them all. Right, so where are we, Yon? You're muted again, Yon.
Yeah, I know, don't worry. Just had a game crash, I had to rejoin.
Ah. Do you want
But now
to...
Doug has also begun his lap.
Do you want me to invite you?
Oh, I'm in. I joined
Oh, you're in? Okay.
his account. But thank you. As Doug goes through turn 4 here now, is he's getting a nice little strip string, I believe, from Yudi ahead of him there. Yes, it is Yudi. He's getting a nice toe for number 62. But if he's getting too much of a toe, is he going to maybe overtake Yudi on the straight? And then they're going to jostle for position here. It's getting close. Doug's burning a lot of that battery. Might have a bit of contact maybe here. Goes late on the brakes, but no. Yudi, yeah, there's a bit of contact there. Doug has rear-ended Yudi.
Is that going to be a grid drop, maybe? No? No, it doesn't look like it. I think he's
As
safe.
they've not backed out on their lap, Doug is still trying to push. They're fighting on their out laps, on their push
Flyers,
laps here.
yeah.
This is strange because obviously I did just mention if Doug gets too much of a slipstream and Yudi brakes early, which Yudi braked quite late, and Doug sort of lifted a bit, and he's went into the Yudi. I'm quite shocked how he hasn't been handed a grid penalty there for that contact.
That's interesting. So average time will go is 1:24.265 for his first lap in Q2. His teammate of Podge crosses the line about 6/10 slower than him, almost exact as well, as Yuri goes third fastest, and then the Williams of Doug into the pit lane after having a little bit of collision, as Red goes fourth fastest now, as Super Skills takes P1. Lanzi, 24 dead. You can't improve that. It's got to stay. It's got to stay. What about the other V car? But of VRB, he crosses the line second fastest, about a tenth and 44 thousandths slower than Lanzi, as we do have a Mercedes. That's going to be Alvaro, who goes P1, 23.928 for the championship leader. This is what Alvaro wants, and this is what Alvaro needs, as Jabba crosses the line now and goes faster than Alvaro. 23.761 for the Red Bull, as the Aston Martin of Pelleback, only 4th fastest for the Aston. Wow.
Track conditions really ramping up here. I'm unsure, are they on used tyres here for their first lap?
Once Kevin posted into the Tier 3 chat, I'm so confused. What? Something doesn't look right.
Minimap.
I mean, it's not difficult to move the minimap. I thought it was something to do like with the fact he's like a 10th down starting a lap.
It's the set to times.
Oh, wow, okay. Kevin Gamer goes purple sector 2 in the middle of Q1. Well, at the end of Q1. On mediums. Fair enough.
But the lack of fuel had got him there, though.
Morning, Vixen.
As Jabba abuses a bit of track limits there, I think, to keep his lap valid. But he's not on a push one anyway. I've just realised.
Isn't Jabba a silver driver?
I'm not too sure.
I swear he was racing in Tier 2 at one point.
I think he was reserving.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was reserving.
Yeah, well, fair enough.
But DMB Ship Skills invalidated his second lap he was on here.
And Tojo starts
Nathan
one.
is on a lap.
Ooh, Nathan, let's go board with Nathan.
Go on board with Nathan. He's not got a lot of battery. He's getting a consistent throttle there through turn 9 as we go now into turn 10. Grabs the outside curb, doesn't grab the inside apex there. He does lock up the front left a bit, not too much, into turn 13, through turn 14, under the, not casino, under the hotel. Will he do it again? He does nearly do it again. He's really struggling when he goes off track there, through turn 15. Now, into the final corner here, grabs the apex ever so beautifully there, and pushes straight to the line, and that puts him P4. Very close.
I'm almost falling over things. Anyways, back to it. So, let's have a look to see who's on track. Superskills has invalidated that the Aston Martin of Tojo is on a flyer lap, and he's gone purple sector 2. Has the Aston on the medium compounded tyres. We go through turns 10, 11, and then in towards turn 12 at the hotel section, under the braking on towards turn 12, and then round turn 13, and then under the hotel at turn 14, as we go round the Latifi corner and up towards turn 15, and then the final corner of turn 16. What can the Aston Martin set here in Q2 on the medium compound tyres? It goes a little bit wide, but keeps it valid somehow, and it's only 6th fastest for Tojo, 124.047 for the Aston Martin. As we do have that, is going to be Doug starting the lap, and then the Haas of Average Tomo. Who's on it? Is it Andy on the lap? Nathan? No. Craigery? Craigery is. He's going purple sector 2 as well. Round turn 9 comes the Mercedes and the Constructor Champion driver as we go round at turn 10, 11, and then in towards turn 12 as the hotel section coming up round 13 and then on towards turn 14. Past Latifi corner once again, and then up towards turns 15 and then turn 16. What can Gregory set here in Q2? 7 minutes left of the session, and Gregory crosses the line with a 23.8, putting him ahead of Alvaro, and just behind Jabba is the V-carb of, I think that might be Red starting the lap. Either that or she's just finished one, but she's only got 670, well, somewhere about 80% battery left, so it's, I think she's pushing actually. We've got to keep an eye out for Red then, as Tojo's down on his lap time. We do have a Williams of Doug starting a lap, and is about to finish one as he comes through in towards the hotel section in Sector 3, underneath the hotel bridge, and then round at the Latifi corner. The Williams, a little bit scared at that corner, I would have to say, but we go round at the final corner on board with Doug anyway, as he comes up to the line, 24.1, putting him P8 ahead of VRB, who's on an outlap and getting ready for another lap here as Lanzi comes around the final corner to start his next run. We do have a Haas, that's going to be Average Tomo, 4 tenths up, coming around the final two corners. What can the Haas says? He goes around turn 16 and across the line he goes. P1, 23.466. Wow, what about Yuri? He's 1.1 up. Can he take it? Yes, he does. Great lap from Yuri, 23.453.
So currently, the projected knockout time for Q2 is going to be, I believe, a 23.8 here.
Is him doing a lap? Lanzi? He looks like he's pushing. Oh, boo-hoo, Red. Cry about it. Second 4 minutes and 52 seconds left of the session, as that has been an invalidation from Lanzi, who only gained about half a tenth that lap, but it wouldn't even have been enough to beat Alvaro's time, so he's stuck with 24 dead at this given moment. So what about the drivers that are out on the track? Average Tomo is not improving, neither is Yudi. As we do have an Aston Martin, that's going to be Peleback, who's on outlap, and I think the VRB is on a lap. So we'll go on board with the V-Carb heading out of turn 7. Round turn 8, the DRS activated as we go all the way towards turn 9. Let's see what VRB can set. He sets up, wow, purple sector 2 for the V-Carb. He's gone 5 tenths quicker, which, give or take, he's going to be about where Craigery is, maybe even where Jabba, as we go through in towards the hotel section at turn 12, 13, and then turn 14 at Latifi Corner, as we go all the way towards turn 15 and 16. Okay, Jan, probably should have done that before stream, but it works. As wow, the V-Car pole position, P1 rather, for VRB. What a lap, by the way, 23.392. And here was me thinking that Alvaro would get pole here, but he's currently P6 behind his teammate, and I'm hoping Alvaro gets back out to set another lap, because P6 is a danger zone, in my opinion, for Q3, so you might have to improve, as we do have Lanzi into the pit lane. What about, not Peleback, but Tojo's on an outlap. The V-car behind Tojo is red, and she is on an outlap. I'm confused. What Ben is speaking about? Okay, I'm just reading Ben's messages and they're turning my brain off. Anyways, Red crosses the line to start her probably final lap here in qualifying. There is a Red Bull behind her, and that is Jabba on an outlap, so he's going to be starting his next run. The Aston Martin of Tojo? No, it's Peleback, but he's invalidated it. Interesting. What about the other V-Carb? That is F7. What's he going to... Is he setting? No, he's not setting anything at the moment. Doug's on an outlap. The Aston Martin Tojo has invalidated it. So then we do go back on board with Red Wildfires. She activates the DRS heading out of turn 5 as we go on board with her down towards turn 6. Pele in Q2, wouldn't be surprised. Be interesting. As we go around turn 7 and then in towards turn 8, the DRS activates. And we go all the way to turn 9 now. 1 minute 55 seconds left of the session as we're on board with the V-Carb of Red. She's 3 tenths up right now, which won't get her out of Q2. She needs to gain at least a second, maybe more, just to get out of the bottom 5 as we go in towards the hotel section. Round turn 12, round turn 13 and 14, under the hotel bridge as we go all the way past Latifi Corner, which now... we go through turn 15 and turn 16. What can Red set in her final moments here in Q2 and on her final moments being in Tier 3 until further notice? And it's only P13, 24.461 for Red. We do have a Red Bull coming up. That's going to be Jabba, who does go funny number faster. as we do have the two Mercedes on an outlap. That is Alvaro starting his final run. The Aston Martin, if that's Pele back into the pit lane. So Pele can't improve his lap time and is currently P9, so he might be out in qualifying here as Cinders crosses the line to start his final run, as well as the Haas of Podge. We do have, I think that's going to be Yude as well behind, followed by Craigery, and then the Williams of Doug, who's currently 11th and 2/10 up. So he could get out here, and he could be finishing possibly ahead of Lanzi if he's actually able to set this lap. As we go round turn 12, 13, and then in towards turn 14. What can Doug do on his final run here in Q2? Past the Latifi corner, in towards turn 15 and turn 16. And the Williams comes around the final corner, up to the line, and does set a 23.7, goes P5. The Aston Martin of Tojo P8, the V-Carb. And that is Red Wildfire. She's not improving, I don't think, in this lap, as she rounds at the final two corners and jumps into the pit lane. Super Skills is on a flyer as he comes in towards the final two corners. And what's it going to be for Super Skills? Is he out in qualifying? No, he is not, but it does push Nathan into that bottom 5. Unfortunately, Nathan cannot continue qualifying, and he's out in Q2. We do have a Mercedes crossing the line. That is going to be Alvaro, who does take P1 once again. The Red Bull of Jabba, who goes into the pit lane. The Alpine of Cinders is on an improved lap, hopefully, as he comes round the final two corners up to the line, and it's going to be P7 for Cinders.
How's the race going, boys?
Hey, there he is, Big Jack. What's happening, man?
I'm at work, boys.
Oh, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, let me pull up stream real quick.
Honestly, Alvaro's like dominating qualifying.
Good boy.
Good boy. What a surprise, though,
Good
Jack. It's
boy.
been a hot minute since you've been in a VC, man.
I know. I've been grafting, been paying off a holiday. I missed this. I missed this.
What, speaking to an audience of like 10 people?
Damn right. Feels right.
It feels right. It so does.
Yeah, right. It is at the top.
Currently, Alvaro, F7 VRB, then Yude and Tomo, followed by Jabba, Doug, Cinders, Craigery, Tojo, and Super Skills into Q3. Lanzi, Nathan, Peleback, Podge, and Red all in Q2.
I'm reading the chat here. 44 people.
44? Oh, I'm
Yeah,
doing
right.
better than I thought. Get in.
I'm the one who spiked the viewers, actually. So
Ah, right. Yes. Totally not my perfect commentary.
they can smell the raw masculine energy from the phone call. So, you know.
We love Jack phone calls.
How we doing, Trips? Oh, it's Doug's last race. What?
It's also Red's last race, as of yet.
I know, she's coming back, though.
Aye, she will. Still be slower, but yeah. So with that over now, Q2 results, Alvaro takes P1, followed by F7 VRB, Yudik, Tomo, Jabba, Doug, Cinders, Craigery, Tojo, and Super Skills. And the bottom 5 are Lanzi, Nathan, Peleback, Podge, and Red.
Oh, Red.
I know.
Right,
Poor
man.
Red.
I see why you're retiring. Jesus. Second, though.
Oh, Red, what we're gonna do with you? I can't be left by Yon. He's just disappeared. Cheeky lad says 10 people. We have an average on 30 to 50 every Sunday morning. Yeah, because I'm just good at comms, Nathan. Everybody love me. They love the banana. Apparently they also love Jack because he jumped in now.
Amen.
Not once person said hi, Jack.
No, they know what they know their good intentions.
But still, not one person saying hi, Jack. That's crazy.
Too big of fans.
On to Q3. There you
we
go,
go.
Red
There we
saying
go,
it.
guys.
There we go. Now we're getting it.
Now you understand the task. Well then, boys.
Hey, there we go. Next thing you know, it'll be Ben jumping in the call saying, "Alright, chaps. Come on, Ben.
Right,
You're not doing it and getting."
It sounds like. I sound like just this.
It's been 84 years. That's crazy. I didn't know Jack was becoming an old man in his acting career.
Yeah. 4 commentator. I've been told by the boss man to focus on Q3 and not my amazing appearance.
Come on, lock
Adam,
in.
if you buy me a PS5, then yeah.
Oh, get a PC, bro. It's so much funner.
You pay for one. I've just dropped. I've nearly just dropped a bag on a holiday. I'm not exactly in the fuck.
To be fair,
grabbing.
yeah, that's Pellyback.
No, hello, Pellyback.
Top 5 Monaco. Lando, Leclerc, Piastri, Hamilton, Verstappen, Russell, Albon, Sainz.
Top 5, not top 10, you muppet.
Tough, you're getting the top 10 anyway. Albon, Sainz, and then probably...
What, who's in the corner?
No,
he goes back.
Hello, I was charging my headset.
Hold on a minute, I'm at work.
Yeah, 3 people doing comms. This is great work.
I'm not even doing comms, I'm just here for the vibes. Here for the moral support of Tier 3.
Get Jack to take us through a lap in a minute, yeah.
No, because I'm watching on stream, so my thing's like hella delayed.
That's crazy, as Yuri starts his first lap heading down towards turn 1. Jack, you want to take this one away?
if you go on board with them, yeah.
I'm on board with them. We just have like a 5-second delay. That's completely fine.
And then if you want to keep it going into sector 1, as you head into the hairpin bend here, you want to get it down to 3rd and then slowly accelerate off the curb.
Not gonna lie, you kind of nailed that. It was going through the hairpin.
As you head down the back straight, it tightens into that chicane. Got a break around about the 100 boards, straight down into 2nd.
This man has no delay.
Halfway through. Not too early now.
Come on, Jack.
Nails that from what I'm seeing. On the power, on yourself, you do. So he comes flying down the. Is this the back straight? Or is this like the second back straight?
I would say it's the second back straight, yeah.
And takes that nice and smooth on the accelerator, leaving the car to roll out onto the curbing, not invalidating the lap. So it heads into sector 3 now. Tightest sector of the track, a lot of technical corners. You got to nail to get the next one right. I'm tired. I've not done this in a while.
Around the final corner, Jack.
Yudi invalidates his lap.
Oh no, Yudi. So Doug sets a 24.245 and technically takes provisional P1. Tojo takes 3rd as Average Tomo goes first. As Jabba goes first. Everybody's coming flying through. Super Skills goes 4th, fastest the Mercedes of Craig barrels into the pit lane. What can F7 VRB do? Coming round the Latifi corner now at turn 14, up towards turn 15 and turn 16. As we had a nice little commentary from Jack. It's been a while, man. It has been a while. So he's now chatting up the bird, and we go on to the start-finish straight as VRB sets the fastest lap here in Q3. As Alvaro will be the second to last one to finish a lap here as Yuri. Actually, no, he will be the partially last one to set a lap here at the moment. As we go round turns 13, 14, and then all the way towards turns 15 and turn 16. What can Alvaro set here in the final qualifying session? 7 minutes and 37 seconds left of the qualifying session. And we see what Alvaro can set around the final corner across the line. And Alvaro sets provisional P1, 23 dead almost for the Mercedes. As then we go off-board and on-board with Yuri to finish his first lap here in Q3.
He has also invalidated his run as well. But Yudi's first lap was a 24.2, but it was invalidated, so it was a good lap from him.
Yeah. 24.2 would have put him right behind Alvaro. Actually, no, right, 24.2, that would put him ahead of Tomo. Or behind Tomo, depending. So yeah, that's everybody in the pit lane. Crazy. Can we get like a hashtag get Jack back in comms? That'd be great.
Does every commentary through the stream with a 2-minute delay.
To be fair, he was nailing like the first couple sectors, and then when it came to sector 3, I was like, right, he's kind of done it, man.
I'm back, cool.
Hi, Jack. There we go. We get people coming. Yeah, there you go. Jack back on comms. Get Jack back on comms.
Yes, there we go. Yeah, she's dropping off vanilla syrup.
So yeah, Jack, been a while. How's acting going?
Not bad. Been kind of
Been calm.
just
That's
chilling.
that's valid,
I've
man.
got 2 jobs now as well.
Why two?
Like I said, I need money.
Valid, man. That money paid for on your PC or on your PS?
We're going to get a PS5 next, just because most games I play are on PS5.
To be fair, you get some games on like PC and PS5 if that makes sense. Like
Yeah,
you
I
can
know,
get
but
like
like,
Spider-Man and all that.
my room's not big enough to have a PS5 and a PC. Also, Banana, what are you doing for my birthday? I'm turning 18 this year.
Edinburgh drinks,
I'm
alcohol.
expecting at least 18 pints on you.
All right, but maybe.
I'm up for that. I'm up for that.
Bet.
Alright, Turbo.
Name a date and I'll come up. Granted, it's gonna be like another 2-hour bus journey, but I don't mind. That or I could take a train. Trains are like cheap. I think from when I went to go and see Alvaro, the train was like less than a tenner for where I stay. So, to be fair, I might just get a train instead of the bus because the bus works really dumb because the 902 goes from Glasgow through Coat Bridge to Edinburgh Airport instead of going straight to Edinburgh now.
We're getting told off.
For what? What did I say?
Banana, we've been told off.
Yeah, we know, Nathan. We know. We're tracking. Don't worry. Yuri starts his second possibly final lap here as he goes round at turn 1 and then down towards turn 2. And then all the way around the right-hander of at turn 3. The Sauber in the chance to win the title here in Abu Dhabi. But he's got one hell of a competitor. Alvaro currently sitting P1 4 times quicker than F7 VRB. What can Yuri set going on to the back straight? DRS open for the Sauber. Purple sector 1 for Yuri as well as we go all the way down towards the chicane at turn 7 and turn 8. Track limit pit glitch? Yeah, that's the thing. No, I get it, Nathan. I get it. I get it, mate. It's alright. It's a final race. It's only nice to get all the team bosses, not team bosses, the league directors. Actually, you know what? Where's Jan? Get Jan in. Why not? We'll have 4 commentators.
Through turn 9, Yudi goes now going down into turn 10 here. He's kept it nice and straight through turn 9. Gets it nice, grabs the apex there into turn 10, into turn 12, turn 11, sorry, into turn 12. Now turn 13, gets very close to that curve, goes a bit wide there, but gets it done. Nails the exit into turn 14, gets the car straight as he can. And into turn 15 we go now, grabs the curve again, yet again. Doing amazing to grab these apexes and the curves through turn 16. Doesn't go wide at all, gets the car straight, and he goes P2, 23-2.
Yeah, that's an absolutely amazing lap for Yuri. This is what he needs to be next to Alvaro to win the championship. The gap currently is, what, he's got 198, so 9 points. So Alvaro would need to finish 4th, and Yuri would need to win the championship. Interesting. 12 points between all 3. Fair enough then.
So Alvaro went a second, average Tomo, sorry, went a second faster than Yudi on his lap.
Oh yeah, I just realised that actually. So the top 3, currently the top 3 in qualifying 3. As we do have a Mercedes coming up to the line. That's going to be Craigery around the final corner at turn 16. And up to the line comes the Mercedes, who goes P4. It's just me as Craigery kind of lost a pace over the season. Like, he used to be right up there at the top, battling it with Nick Dew. But the two of them have kind of dropped off. Nick currently P6 in the championship, Craigery 4th. So it's kind of interesting, to be fair.
Obviously, throughout the season, Craigery has got into a few incidents. Obviously, they weren't his fault, but
True,
it's just a bit of, well, it's just a bit sad to see, a bit disheartening as well. Whilst Jabba ends his lap, no, Jabba begins his lap. He's not improved. He's half a tenth down in sector 1 here. Into sector 2 we go. Gets a little bit on the throttle too early, but he gets the corner done into the DRS now down the straight. He's using a lot of that battery he has. But now going down into turn 6, it's just now whether or not you have the straight line speed here in Q3 to get into to get a high position in the finishing places.
Mm-hmm.
He goes a bit wide there on the exit of turn 7, not just trying to avoid the curb into turn 8 there. Now we go down into turn 9. He's using a lot of that battery again. Maybe start de-raising here, which isn't going to be very good for him. It's not going to help him out. But now into turn 9, goes a little bit wide. Bit of a slide there from the seams of things, but gets it done. And now using more of that battery again into turn 11 here. Now down into turn 12, grabs the apex, gets the car straight, and has a bit of a snap from the seams, but he gets it under control immediately through turn 13 into turn 15 now. As he grabs the curb again, just like Yudi did, but not as much as Jabba now goes through turn 16 into the final corner. Now Jabba goes P8, doesn't he? Improves by a 10th.
Yeah, and does on a slightly improved lap. He's about just under a 10th up, heading through sector 3 now as he comes round the final 2 corners at turn 15 and then turn 16. As he comes up to the line, the Williams goes P8 for Doug. The Aston Martin of Tojo has finished the lap already. So I think it's Alvaro who's up next, and he's already a 10th up, just less than a 10th. So he's going to get into the 22s here as he goes purple sector 2. As we go round turn 9 on board with the Mercedes driver, the Portuguese driver, currently leading the championship from Yude in P2 and an average Tomo in P3. As Tomo's lining up second, then Yude third, Craigery fourth. So it's going to be an interesting end of the qualifying session as the session has come to an end. So the drivers will be finishing their final laps here in Q3 as Alvaro rounds the final corner here in Q3. Up to the line comes the Mercedes, and it's a 22.870 for Alvaro as Cinder's next. Crosses the line, goes 9th fastest, putting Jabba down to 10th. Which that means that Jabba's actually going to qualify 10th because he's not improving that lap time. Neither is Super Skills, neither is Doug. So that's them out, and that means that's the end of qualifying as Alvaro takes takes pole position here in Abu Dhabi for the final round in season 10.
English, please.
Hi Jack, welcome back. Does Jack want to have us try it doing lights out? Even though there's a lot of background noises. Anyways, on to the results for Q3. Alvaro takes pole position away from Tomo, Yude, Craigery, Tojo 5th with F7, VRB and 6. Superskill 7th, Doug P8, Cinder's P9, and then Jabba P10.
Well in, son.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one.
Michael Alvaro on top.
The Irishman surrounded by the Portuguese drivers into the final round. It's going to be interesting.
Right, prediction, boys, prediction. Who's winning?
Alvaro.
Yeah, Alvaro. Actually, no, Yudi's pretty quick these days.
Yeah, Yude has been quick, yeah, but I feel like it's all on Alvaro because leading the championship, he only needs to finish the podium to win it. So I think I know. I think Alvaro's going to get it. It'd be mega. It'll be massive if he loses this because this is like the closest he's come to a title in the last few seasons.
Yeah, I remember my championship battle with Alvaro. Balled it last minute.
Put standings on the screen when you get 5. Yeah, I'll do it in the actual.
Do it now. Hey, good boy.
Here's the standings, everybody. Alvaro in first with 207 points. 207 points, followed by Yude in second with 198, and an average Tomo just 12 points behind Alvaro with 195. So all is on the line for the top 3 in the championship. Who will come out on top here in qualifying? Moving on to the constructors in a moment, if the thing will change. Just give it a second. Never mind, we're going to lights out. I need to get rid of this. So it's now 5 lights here in Abu Dhabi, and it's lights out and away we go. And it's a great start for the top two, as that's actually going to be Tomo almost alongside Alvaro, and he has to just filter in. He's a little bit, there's a little bit of contact almost between the Haas and the Mercedes, as Yuri drops down to P6. The Super Skills goes round the outside of turn 3 and overtakes the Sauber. Tojo and Craigery fighting it in towards turn 4. And then in towards turn 5, as it basically now sets up for a single file. Tojo with a switchback, try to get it through on Craigery, who moves up to 3rd position as Yuri down to P5, gets through on Super Skills, heading down towards the chicane at turn 6 and 7. Here comes Super Skills looking for a little bit of a move here, as that's actually the V-carb of F7 who bonks his way through Super Skills, and then Super Skills re-overtakes position, but that is F7 who keeps that ahead. And it means that's going to allow Doug to go round the outside on Super Skills. And here comes Jabba and the Red Bull, who's also going to try and make the move on the Ferrari, heading in towards turn number 9. As that's Jabba and Super Skills side by side round turn 9. The Red Bull and Ferrari both keep it clean. And it's still side by side heading through Sector 3. It turns 10, 11, and then towards turn 12 we go. It's Jabba who comes out on top. Yuri stays P5, Tojo up to P4, and Craigery, what a start from him, to P3.
As at the start there, Yudi did, I believe, get pushed off track by Craigery. I think he had a bit of understeer and hit Yudi off track, which made him lose quite a few positions there. I think that might be looked at later on. But looking at the incident between DMB and VRB there, VRB was on the inside of Super Skills, and I don't think Super Skills knew he was there, and I think he just turned in without noticing where he was. But Yudi going down the inside there, can he get moved done on Tojo? Yes, he can. He's got the DRS, he's got some of that slipstream from the car ahead of Craigery, but Tojo, is he going to fight this back? No, he's not. But Yudi in recharging the battery here. Is Tojo going to send it late on the brakes? No, he won't. But now through turn 6, they all go. Lost at the back there. That's Pelivac trying to make some moves up. He lost a position, I believe, there. 2 Cinders trying to make that move, and it didn't stick. But now through, everyone goes into turn 8 now. Now everyone goes down into turn 9. Yudi trying to look around, trying to make some moves, to take up some of that ground he lost out upon with Craigery at the start there. And right behind him is Tojo. He's going to not let him have this one. He's going to put up a fight for Yudi here as well. As into turn 12, they all go through turn 13, into turn 14. Alvaro just recharging that battery back up again as well. But at the moment, average Tomo isn't letting him get away from him whatsoever, and neither is Yudi.
Yeah, possible tyre strategies today are the medium hard or the medium hard, as Yuri sets the fastest lap here in the race. It's a very different tyre strategy for the top 3, as Craigery started on the mediums, Yuri and Tomo plus Alvaro on the hard compound, as well as F7, Nathan and Nimblecat, Magi and Kevin Gamer all the way down in last on the hards, the rest on the mediums. As we go round at turn 5 and back onto the back straight we go, as DRS is still active. Let's see who will come out on top, heading down towards the chicane, as Alvaro's having to defend slightly from Average Tom, who's flying up the rear. And here comes Craigery up the inside on the Haas driver. And he knows if he just helps Alvaro a little bit of contact, yeah, it's Craigery who goes off and overtakes Yuri off the track. Yuri comes back through with the DRS open, and Yuri back up to second. This is massive for Yuri. He's been up and down the field, and he's managed to get back up into the podium. It's great scenes from the Sauber and the Mercedes drivers as Tomo lines up in 4th still. He's just followed by Tojo and Doug. F7 down in 7th place, as that is Craigery sticking a wheel there.
Turn 12 here as well.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Craigery there, and Craigery's now having to defend from average Tomo just because of that time loss he had occurred through there, as Tomo accidentally tapped, as Craigery turned in a bit early on Tomo, which caused a half spin from Tomo, but he managed to remain P4 still.
Yeah, it's getting real tight out here in Abu Dhabi as we go all the way on to lap 4 and in towards turn 1 once again. Craigery a little bit late on the brakes in towards turn 1, allowing him to catch up ever so slightly to Yudi just ahead as we go round turn 2, round turn 3, and then in towards turn 4. Yudi's on the back of Alvaro. He's going to try and make the move. He's going to do a Verstappen. Up the inside goes Yudi. He's really pushing these tires, trying to overtake Alvaro. A little bit slidey on the exit. And Alvaro retakes the position for first position as we go all the way down towards turn number 6 and 7. That is Yudi on the right side of your screen as he's going to go and try and make the move on the left of Alvaro in towards 6. And that is Yudi who takes P1 away from the championship leader, as that is Tomo and Craig swapping places. Tomo with an amazing drive, by the way. What a move from Tomo to make up to the podium position ahead of Craig Race. Craig Race going to deploy a little bit of his battery, trying to re-overtake, but he just has to stay behind, as that is in the inside goes Tojo on Doug, who has a beautiful line, by the way, and almost comes out ahead of Doug, but he has to go following behind Doug. And there goes Jabba up the inside on the Aston Martin in towards turn 12, and it's F7 VRB with a 3-second time penalty as Jabba makes it to P6.
Boys, I shall return for post-race interviews. Give me a shout.
Alright, then Jack, I'll tag you when we're done with it.
Be that rear-ending DMB super skills there as well. A lot of rear-ending happening down the back of the grid there. At the back, I think that was red. Had
Much
a bit
love
of
and
a
get this
slide on
man.
exit.
Much love, Jack. I'll see you later, man. So Pelleback gets through on his Aston Martin teammate to make it for P7 as Kevin picks up a 3-second time penalty. The V-Carb of F7 dives it right up the inside, making it 3 wide, forcing the Ferrari of Super Skills off the track almost, as that is Tojo, who manages to retake P8 ahead of the V-Carb, heading down the back straight. This is getting really spicy here as Nathan gets through on Podge in the Haas, the Sauber, and the Haas scrapping it out here for position. And it is going to be Super Skills just ahead of Nathan, but Nathan sticks in P12 as Cinders and F7 are battling it all the way down towards turn number 9. Cinders on the inside, Super Skills around the outside of Cinders here. He might try and make a move. He's going to go and try and switch back the Alpine. He goes wide, and that is not going to be moved for the Ferrari. It's side by side between the Alpine and the Ferrari. The Ferrari has the inside line, a little bit of contact, and that is Super Skills who has to slam on the brakes, avoid making any more contact with the drivers behind them. Nathan comes out just right behind Super Skills, and it's going to be a nice little easy sector here for Super Skills now, as he's made a massive mistake coming through turns 10 and 11 and in towards turn 12 as Alvaro sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix once again, as that's Pelleback and Jabba battling it in towards turn 1. The Aston Martin on the outside gets forced off by the Red Bull, and that is Pelleback who has to just concede the position to Jabba as we go round turn 3 and back on board with the top 2. That's Yudi on the inside of Alvaro once again. The Sauber making his move on that hairpin is back ahead of the Mercedes, but DRS opens for Yudi, but not Alvaro. Alvaro's going to have to deploy his battery just to keep fighting with Yudi as we go down towards turn 6 and turn 7. Pelleback gets through on Jabba behind, and Alvaro just has to concede to Yudi here as we go in towards 6 and 7. The DRS will be active for Alvaro though on the exit. He's on the power once again. He activates the DRS. He's not got any battery. Yudi has a little bit to use as we go down towards turn number 9. After the DRS zone and in towards sector 3. Alvaro can't make the move here, so Yudi stays in the lead. As Average Tomo now looking to get a move here on Alvaro. It's a 3-way fight for the championship. It's also a 3-way fight for the win of the Grand Prix here. And let's see who can come out on top.
As all this fighting here is actually allowing Doug to catch up. We don't usually see Doug this close to everyone in the lead, but today is...
There's been a spin. That's Nick Jew. Nick Jew's round at turn 12. Nick is off into the wall, and that's unfortunate for the Williams. He's now down towards the back end of this grid. He's now last position behind Kevin Gamer as we go back on board with the top runners. I have to call Nick Latifi now, but unfortunately it wasn't that corner, so Red still keeps the title. Ah, well. So round turn 9, DRS active for Alvaro, Tomo and Craig, followed by Doug as well. Pelleback won't get it as he's 1.8 behind Doug, but back on board with the top 5. Let's see who will make a move down this straight. It doesn't look like MD's going to be making it. Alvaro saving a little bit of his battery. Yudi got a little bit more battery than the Mercedes behind. How much does Craig have? He has a little bit more than Yudi here as well, but he's just having to keep using it to catch up to Tomo ahead. The top 3 are rapid today, guys. Not gonna lie. Usually It's not like this, but it's been an interesting race so far. Lap 7 at 29 as we go round turn number 9. F7 VRB getting through on Tojo as Nathan gets through on Podge once again. That is Yuri just starting to gap away from Alvaro ever so slightly. As the Haas of Tomo is really on the back of Alvaro here, heading through the Latifi corner now. A little bit of contact, and that's average Tomo, who's had a little bit of a spin there. Craigery makes a move on the inside, leaving no room for error, and Craigery up to the podium, pushing average Tomo down to P4. Doug now on the back of the Haas is looking to try and take P4 from him. As we go in towards turn number 9, Yuri still leads the way from Alvaro, and that's Craigery who's dropped out of DRS. Kevin Gamer picks up another 3-second time penalty as F7 VRB gets through on Jabba once again. This battle has been one entertaining one so far, but we go back on board with Alvaro. Is he pushing? Is he trying to catch up to the Sauber? He's not pushing. He's just saving his battery, but that's still Yuri with a lot more battery than Alvaro.
A bit tentative there to get on the throttle on the exit of the corner. Yeah, as Alvaro there burning a lot of his battery to get past Yudi, as Yudi puts it back into hard lap mode, and he's on the inside. He's got the inside line, which means he's got a tighter line. As Alvaro has to go a bit wide there. It's nearly a bit of contact as Alvaro goes off track there, just trying to avoid that. But there, side by side, bit of contact there, tiny bit, but not much to cause an incident or time loss. It's back into the recharge process for Alvaro there through turn 14, now into turn 15.
Yellow flags, that is going to be Podge racing out here in. He's got a little bit of end plate damage there as he comes spinning out of turn 9 at turn 10 now as we go back on board with the top 2. So Yuri just keeping an eye on Alvaro.
Still does lead, but the ERS difference here is major.
Yeah, it's massive.
But this has allowed Tomo slowly dropping off. Now them hard tyres not seem to be waking up for him at the moment. As he's now out of DRS, but he'll still have it as he was within the DRS detection point, as he was within 1 second of the cars ahead.
So Yudi on the back of Alvaro, he's not pushing, but he's gaining and gaining and gaining on the Mercedes. Does he make a move to the inside? Yes, he does. Late on the brakes goes Yudi. Oh, a little bit of wheel banging there, but Alvaro keeps it ahead and he won't get the DRS. But here comes average Tomo on Yudi. It's side by side between the two Ferrari-powered engines and heading down towards turn 9. That's Yudi, not Yudi, Tomo who takes second. He's going to go and try and make it for first. Average Tomo tries to go round the outside of Alvaro, and Yuri takes the inside line, keeping it alongside there almost with average Tomo. He's on the outside, he has to back out Tomo, almost pushing him off the track as Tomo keeps second. Wow.
Yudi was very close there, a bit of contact between average Tomo and Yudi. Whether or not Yudi might have picked up a tiny bit of damage there, that might not be visible for us, is in question. But at the moment, Yudi has recharged all of that battery to wait out, and there's yellow flags.
And that's going to be Craigery and the V-Carb of F7 VRB. I think Craigery will be going into the pit lane here. Yes, he does. And so does the V-Carb of F7 VRB as Craigery picks up a 10-second for speeding in the pit lane. Could that be a retirement for the Mercedes driver? He's not getting a wing change.
He was a bit late. He was a bit late to get on the brakes there as well, going into the pits. There's a few other people have boxed. The Lanzi's boxed as well in the McLaren there.
Yeah, and Tomo's dropped off a little bit from Alvaro, and Yuri's on the back of him as well. Top 2 are no battery, but Yuri's got 86% battery. That's crazy. Oh, Craigery is disqualified. For blocking the pit lane. What? Did he block the pit? Why?
Give me a moment. I'll have a quick look there. 1 second.
Yeah, just go check the stream back, because that's a massive move for average Tomo and Yudi. Wow, what a move. Double overtake for the top 3 as Jon's trying to get my attention, but this battle is a little too important at the moment, so you can get back to me in a second as we go in towards turn 12. A little bit of contact between the Sauber and the Haas as Alvaro has lost the lead of the Grand Prix down to P3 now. He's now recharging that battery as Yuri's got 70%. as that is Jabba with a 3-second time penalty. On you go, Jon. What happened to
So
Craigery?
that's what happened. We did see the yellow flags. So I did look at the clip I just had, and it seems to be he must have spun it in the pits, and he couldn't get the car around in time, and he was disqualified for blocking the pits.
It's unfortunate for Craigery as Nathan gets through on Tojo, who's into the pit lane on lap 11 of 29. Yudi on the back of Tomo, followed by Alvaro on the back of Yudi. It's getting tight between the top 3 in the standings, as Alvaro technically still will win this Grand Prix. Not the Grand Prix, but will win the championship by being in P3. DRS activated, heading down towards turn 6 and turn 7. Yuri goes to the right, left side of Tomo, and that is Yuri back up to the lead of the Grand Prix as Alvaro just looking to try and catch up ever so slightly to the guys ahead. Let's see what they can do. As here comes Alvaro.
Slowly catching here as well.
Yeah, true. Pele back in P4. He's 3.3 behind the top 3. As that's Average Tomo with a massive send on Yudi. And he's made a mistake and he's now... Oh, he's crashed into Alvaro.
I don't think Yudi expected that, as that was quite late.
That was a very late move from Tomo there. Very, very late move. That was almost race ending for Alvaro if he made any more... Like, if there was if standard damage was on, that would have been race over for Alvaro. That would have been crazy damage. That is Red getting through on Super Skill. So Red still can fight for a point, because technically she is in the points, because Magi's got a 3-second time penalty. So yeah, it's interesting.
She doesn't, she boxes instead. The mediums must have given over, trying to do 17 laps on the hard compound of tyre.
So yeah, she'll probably box in to go to the hard compound now, as we see the pit mechanics out. And yes, it is going to be hot tyres for Red Wildfire, and she comes out maybe just ahead of Lanzi, maybe just behind them, maybe. Let's see what happens between the two V-Carbs.
As Doug makes the move there on Pele back.
As Kevin Gamer gets another 3-second time penalty. Red's going to come out ahead of the bottom 4. So it's good for Red. She just kind of needs to fight that and keep it in clean air at the moment. She's got a lot of clean air to Gravy, so it should be a good strategy to box early now, as we stay on board with the top 3. As Doug gets through on Pele back further down the order. Alvaro back to P2, as now Tomo has dropped off 1.6 now behind the top 2, as Alvaro ever so closer getting to Yudi around the hotel section at 13 and 14, and then all the way towards turn 15 and 16. Alvaro right on the back of the Sauber as we go in towards lap 13 now. 16 laps remain here in Yas Marina.
So, some information on Nathan here. At the moment, he doesn't seem to have the fuel
for
the next 17 laps. This might be tricky for him, as he's got to try to get some DRS here and some slipstream from Jabba as much as he can.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Nathan does. I think he was hoping for a safety car, but not one has came yet. And we've had a lot of yellow flags recently, so maybe there's a high chance of getting one, as Doug will come out just maybe behind Peleback. No, he comes out ahead of Peleback, and it's yellow flags. That's a Williams. That's going to be Nick Drew once again. He's done a Latifi! He's done a Latifi! Nick Drew has crashed it into the Latifi wall, and has came into the pit lane, and it's an unfair 3-second time penalty from Nick as he comes into the pit lane, and possibly going on to the... Oh, well, he's on the hards now, so mediums till the end possibly. He might need to do a 2-stop, as the top 2 are fighting it hard, as Alvaro's made the move on Yudi. Heading through the hotel section, Alvaro still leads, 45% battery compared to Yudi's 35%. It's getting close. Jabba behind with Nathan, who's currently P5. This is a great race from the Sauber at the moment, but a lot of drivers behind have boxed, so that will change down the order, as Red came out not far behind Cinders, who still has yet to box. Let's actually have a look at the tyre stoppage. Cinders actually comes out ahead of Red. So does Pele Tojo and Doug, as Jabba's into the pit lane first ahead of Nimble. And goes on to the hard compound of tyres. Back on board with the top 2. What can Alvaro do? This DRS straight. He does have a very, very fast Sauber right behind him. DRS enabled for Yudi as we go down towards turn 6 and turn 7. And Yudi goes to the left side of Alvaro, makes the move on the Mercedes and heads in towards the chicane, ahead and leading the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
As I look at the obviously the telemetry I have at the moment, it's quite interesting to watch Alvaro in the braking zones. He goes on the brakes, he stays on, and he flickers the throttle at the same time. It's quite interesting to watch.
Oh yeah,
as he does it, it's quite interesting.
He's got more skill than me under the brakes. I just slam on them and, you know, hope for the best.
Go straight into everyone.
Yeah.
But the top 6 do need to box.
Oh, Alva's made a mistake. Could this allow Yuri to maybe get a chance here? No, it doesn't. Still stays ahead. Top 2 don't box. What about Average Tomo? He stays out as well. F7 Nathan currently P4 ahead of Nimblecat. Will he box now or will he stay out? He's on the hard compound. And he's not boxed yet. So this is going to be an interesting strategy to see where Nathan comes out. The Red Bull of Nimble and Mad G in the McLaren. Currently fighting for P5. But Mad G does have a penalty. And then Doug 9 seconds behind Mad G. And he's boxed mine. So the top 6 haven't. That is Yuri and Alvaro swapping places onto the hairpin once again. That will be Yuri who gets the DRS and will lead the Grand Prix still. So as we go down towards turn 6 and at turn 7, it's the Sauber who leads.
At the moment, it looked like Average Tomo was a bit bogged down there on the exit of the chicane. This is yellow flag. That is VRB there.
He's stationary on track.
I think he's just come out of the pits as well. He has 5 laps to go. He came out of the pits onto the mediums. And he doesn't have any damage. He's lucky to not have any damage from that, but he's not going to be helping his teammate. He's going to be helping the team out anytime soon, is it?
Nah, unfortunately. But speaking of drivers, we're on board with the top 2 once again as Yuri goes into the pit lane. Yuri has called it early and he's going to go on to the mediums first ahead of Alvaro. And so does Tomo into the pit lane. What does Nathan do? Does he double stack? Yes, he does, but he cuts the white line on the entry as he goes into the pit lane. And that is Magi and Nimblecat staying out. And what does Nathan go on to? Is it the mediums? We'll really try and stretch this off. So he goes on to the mediums, but he's going to get a little bit held up from the pit mechanics being slow. Which, by the way, I hate that when that happens. They're so annoying. So Yuri comes out in 4th position. Alvaro still leads the way, but he needs to box this lap to cover off Yuri's English overtake, I don't know, something like that. Undercut, that's it. Try to remember my F1 lingo. Brain's not braining, but too well. Lap 16 of 29, and that's a move for Nimble and then Mad G. As Nimble gets up to P2 ahead of the McLaren. It's been a nice little battle between these two. I hope they're enjoying it as much as they. It looks good. No hard. Bro, I'm Scottish. It's difficult.
Now, the issue Yudi's going to have now is Pele's on hard tyres, which are going to be a bit better at the end of the Grand Prix, which is going to allow Pele back to catch up quite a bit.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Trying to warm up them tyres still.
And not to mention, if Yudi catches up to the top 2 in this last sector before the pit lane, he might get held up a little bit, allowing Alvaro to come out ahead as we go in towards the hotel section. What does Alvaro... Can Alvaro get ahead of Yudi, though, is the real question, or will he come out behind him? To be fair, if he comes out, right... Okay, that's Magi and Nimble both into the pit lane. As Alvaro leaves his pit box and is away. As Yudi goes in towards turn 1 and does overtake Alvaro. As Alvaro now comes under the track. And up the hill we go as Alvaro does come out, maybe just fighting with Pele back. No, he comes out well ahead of Pele back. And that's a great position
for him. DRS here as well.
Yeah.
And so does Doug, and so does the other Aston Martin as well.
So, Yudi can still win if Alvaro finishes 3rd. But he'll win by 1 point. So Alvaro either needs to set the fastest lap to tie it, or try and keep 2nd. True, Ben, true. I remember you boxed like lap 8 at one point and then just came out like 20 seconds ahead of me. That was not a fun moment. Note to self, I'm
As
pulling
at the
in.
moment, Alvaro struggling with some ERS management here as well. As Doug gets the place on average Tomo there. Oh, he doesn't, sorry, Tojo, sorry.
Yeah, average time gets through on Tojo is now we go in towards the hotel section. He's in this train for P2, but it's going to be close. 3.2 is the gap to Yudi, and if Alvaro has any chance of winning this, he needs to stay ahead of the guys behind. So it's going to be an interesting last 10 laps of the Grand Prix. We go on to lap 18 though, so it's only 11 left as average time sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. So yeah.
But Yudi, he's expanding that gap by, I believe, 3 tenths now.
Oh yeah.
Last lap.
Kevin Gamer picks up another 3 seconds.
Right behind Alvaro is Pele, and he has got DRS. And Alvaro, sorry, is burning a lot. Get away from Peleback, but Peleback's just keeping it a nice stable condition here, just waiting it out for his moment to get the overtake done.
It still looks like it's pretty much single file for this little train here from P2 to P6. It just looks like Alvaro's got a lot of straight line speed compared to Pele. To be fair, he is on a medium, so he should be starting to gap away.
Has also gone a bit wide there on exit.
Let's have a look at the tyres real quick. Pele back 10 positions gained. Wow. Average Tomo on the medium, stuck behind these two hard runners. This is going to be a pain for him. He needs to get through on them if he wants to keep battling it for the title. That is Alvaro sticking 3 seconds between him and Yudi. But Yudi's just saving so much more battery than the Mercedes. As we go round at turn 3 and then in towards turn 4, further down the order, we have a little battle here. That's the V-Carb of F7 VRB and Nick Joe Williams. DRS enabled for the V-Carb. He's on the back, and will he make the move on the inside? He does. He goes to the left of Nick, and he's going to go up the inside. But Nick has a little bit better cornering and goes sailing round the outside of the V-Carb and keeps P17. As there goes Pele back up the inside on Alvaro. A little bit of contact, and Pele back has to now fight Doug on the exit of 7. And he keeps it clean, but Alvaro, that was a little bit cheeky from the Mercedes driver. A little bit of a contact with the driver behind in towards turn 6. As the gap is now 3.3 between the top two. And that's Magi getting through on Red Wildfire. And it looks like Alvaro has got away. It's now 1.0 to Alvaro. And I don't think Peleback will be able to fight it any much longer. As Alvaro now 3.4 behind Yudi. He needs to start pushing to catch up to the Sauber. But in this way, he still will win the championship, but by only a few points. Actually, no, because 10... Well, no, maybe. Maybe by a few points. I think he wins by like 3 points if he finishes second. It would be nice to see Alvaro win the Grand Prix to just clinch it, but to just completely take it, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it might go to Yudi. And Peleback being 1.6 down the order, a safety car could ruin this all.
Yudi not really throwing the car through the corners as much as some of the other drivers have done. Whilst Alvaro's just lost 3 tenths there through the chicane. He gained 2 tenths on the exit there.
As Peleback gets through on Doug. And there goes Average Tom around the outside on the Williams driver. The fresh medium's just absolute sailing at the moment. As now he's on the back of Peleback, and he might even try and catch up to Alvaro, which could put a possible chance to Yudi getting the championship here. The two Portuguese drivers leading the way as, well, at the moment. As Alvaro slowly losing a lot more time to Yuri. 3.6 is the gap. And Yuri has Kevin Gamer just ahead. Kevin has blue flags and will need to get out of the way to not allow Yuri to get DRS. Or else that will be a possible report. Yeah, there he goes. Kevin Gamer off the track. And allows everybody behind.
Will it give Alvaro DRS though?
No, I think it might just give the Red Bull. It might give the Red Bull DRS. Yeah, the Red Bull gets DRS. That's crazy.
But at the moment, it's now going to be Tojo. He's really struggling there a bit on exit. But Tojo will also have DRS on the Red Bull there. But that is going to be a bit of a difference to what they're both going to be expecting there.
As Peleback gets through on average Tomo. There's yellow flags. That's Nick Ju and VRB again. These two cannot seem to stay away from each other.
Stopped on track.
Yeah, if that causes a safety car, that's going to be a report.
To let Nick pass.
As average Tomo stopped to P3 now, 2.3 behind Alvaro, who's a further 3.6 behind Yuri. So it's going to get a little bit more interesting as Nathan's leading a little bit of a train here between Cinders and Super Skills as you go round at turn number 9. As Nick Ju retires from the session. It's blue flags showing for Kevin. Actually, I think that maybe... No, it's not VRB, okay. Alvaro now 3.5 behind Judy. The tyres might start to come picking back towards his direction, but I don't think it'll be enough to catch up. Just report it, Nick. We'll get it done. We'll get it sorted, mate.
Judy still keeping that a consistent 3.2 second gap, but now because average Tomo and Pele just fighting one another, that's a yellow flag.
That's going to be Kevin
in the wall. Gonna find reverse there. He does find reverse, but this gap that's expanding more because Peleback and average Tomo just keep fighting one another. It's not helping them catch at all. They're just losing their chances at a potential P2 or maybe a P1 with one another.
And my phone's on 1%, yippee. So the top three still separated within seconds of each other. As Alvaro is starting to claw back ever so slightly, but I don't know. Yuri's got a lot more battery saved up, so I think he's going to try and deploy it to keep ahead. As Jabba has a nice little battle here with Doug. It's a bad camera angle. There we go, that's better. Through goes Jabba for P5. Let's have a look at the tyres real quick. So, Yuri and Tom are both boxed on the same lap. Alvaro's now 6... I say 6 point, but there we go. 3.2 ahead of Tomo, and then only 3 seconds behind at Yuri. Ooh, it's getting close between the top two now. I think... Oh, Peleback gets through on Tomo now. And through goes the Aston Martin for P3. Alvaro's pushing as much as he can, but Yuri is just too far ahead. And Nathan makes it up to P8 as he goes up the inside on the Alpine Ascenders and makes the move done as Tomo gets through back on Peleback. And there's yellow flags again as that's Kevin Gamer who's came out of the pit lane or something, bottled it. Has he came out of the pit lane?
The pit's from the softs. I think he's got a bit
no, he's not. He's on 4-lap softs.
Oh.
Weird.
Hit the curb on the left-hand side, right-hand side, and just slid.
Yes. Yeah, that's probably what happened, to be fair. But Cinder's leading Nathan Super Skills away. It's literally a blue-green-red fight here. Oh, that's a massive snap for Nathan! He loses the position to Super Skills. Peleback is going to be on the back of Tomo on the DRS. And here he goes. Maybe a little bit of DRS checking going on or something, I don't know. But it's going to be Peleback with the DRS as Tomo's still ahead. He's got 63% battery as compared to Pelibac's 90% of battery. As Pelibac goes to the left side of Average Tomo and does overtake the Haas in towards turn number 6. As Alvaro's just not catching Ayude whatsoever. Only a few laps remaining here in Abu Dhabi. And it's been one interesting Grand Prix, to say the least, as there goes Super Skittles through on Cinders, as Nathan just watched that happen ahead of him. And Nathan's still struggling with fuel. I think he might run out.
Jabba there tried to go for a slipstream, not slipstream, sorry, a switchback on Tojo. It didn't work, but he still got the place with the DRS though.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't need to catch him, Ben, but all he needs to do is not make a mistake and fall down to 3rd. That's all he needs to do. And Alvaro will be champion. Yellow flags, that's a slow-moving F7 VRB.
As Nathan had a snap there as well, going through turn 9.
Yeah, Nathan not really enjoying these mediums anymore. I think they're starting to die off, as Pelibac's got within 3 seconds now of Alvaro. That gap was a lot larger, about 3.5 I would say, and that's made it a little bit more interesting, as now Alvaro must have made a mistake, because now Yudi's 4.2 ahead of the Mercedes. F7 VRB is ahead of Alvaro. Does Alvaro get the DRS? No, he doesn't, but he will get a little bit of slipstream, and he will get the DRS heading in towards turn 8. If he catches up ever so slightly to the V-curb just ahead. Blue flags are waving. There goes the V-curb. He's bottled it. As Tojo and Jabba swapping places up in P5 and 6. As the V-curb gets nice and out of the way there. Further down the order, Cinders, Super Skills, Nathan. There might be a battle here for Nimble and Red Wildfire as Jabba gets through on Tojo once again. It's a little bit crazy, as that is the V-Carb who has retired on the track. That might cause a safety car, who knows. Let's go on board with Cinders. There's a V-Carb to the left.
No, I don't think there will be a safety car, but Podge did have a little bit of a moment as well, which caused some yellows as well, as we had yellows in sector 2 at the same time.
Yeah, and that's Kevin Gamer coming back out of the pit lane on a fresh set of softs to the end of the Grand Prix.
So I'm currently looking at the lap times here. Udi is only 3/10 off on his lap, from what I'm seeing, whilst Alvaro was 1.2 off his lap, off his fastest lap. So
and who has the fastest?
At the moment, the fastest, I believe, is Average Tomo.
No, Alvaro by a few hundreds. By at least a few thousands. His fastest 25.839, and then Yudi's is a 25.847.
Oh, I thought you meant the point fastest lap. My apologies.
Oh no, that's that goes to Average Tomo.
But looking at this at the moment, I think Alvaro has the worst tyres here, which is allowing Peleback to slowly catch up. As there's a ghosted
yeah, Kevin trying to get in the mix here.
There. As Pele slightly swinging the rear end now, tyres might be overheating a bit here.
He's now 2.3 to get Alvaro. This is getting a little bit spicy for Alvaro. He's only got about 3 laps to go, and that will be the end of the Grand Prix, but he just needs to keep it ahead of Peleback. He's now 2.4. The Aston Martin is catching on the old hard tyres. This could get very interesting in the next couple laps. But the only thing is, if Kevin overtakes the Aston Martin in towards turn 6 and 7, Pele might get DRS on the Ferrari. Yep, and there goes Kevin opening his rear wing on the back of the Aston Martin. He's not quick enough in the straight line to overtake here. Are on the brakes maybe? No, he stays behind, so that means Peleback will not get the DRS on the lapped car, which just allows Alvaro to just keep a little bit of a safe mind here, as that will be Doug getting through on 2 drivers. Tomo and Jabba is Doug up to P4 now. Not bad from the Williams driver. It's looking like a fun race, to be fair. Is Alvaro champion? Not at the moment. Because if he drops to 3rd, it's then Yude becomes champion. Yes.
Now, as we go on to lap 28, we can no longer have a safety car deployed. So this is going to be the final few laps now. Whilst Alvaro is still 4.1 back, now 4.2 here.
It's crazy that Pelleback's still quicker than Kevin on softs. It's an interesting sight, to say the least. It just shows that the top guys are defo silver.
Just going to be waiting for Pele to come to. I have a Red Bull, not a Red Bull, a Ferrari rear-ending me constantly.
Yeah, true. The final round in silver is going to be interesting, not going to lie.
It will. There is obviously a few constructors to go up for grabs for the rest of the other teams there.
Mm-hmm. I think Red Bull, not Red Bull, Racing Bulls can take 2nd in the championship, but just like barely.
Tojo gets the job done on the Red Bull there, and Average Tomo just dropped back a bit.
Yeah, Tomo's starting to slow down a little bit on them mediums. The hard runners are starting to fight and be a little bit quicker as Jabba goes right round the outside of Tojo and retakes P5. But let's have a look at the penalties real quick, because 6 seconds for Jabba, 3 seconds for Tojo. Oh, interesting. And Cinders gets through on super skills. So, as we go on to the final lap of the Grand Prix, Yude still leads the way to Alvaro and then Pelleback. But if things stay the same for this final lap, it will be Alvaro who will take the championship. Let's see what can happen on the final lap. We all know it's all down to what happens if a driver makes a mistake. That's it. Championship is over. Let's see who can win it here in Abu Dhabi. His average Tomo picks up a 3-second time penalty. Doug has managed to gap Jabba in P5, so it will be P4 for Doug. Pelleback stays P3, will take P3, and average Tomo might take P6 behind Tojo. As there's yellow flags, that's going to be Lanzi, yeah. He's lost his left end plate there.
Red picks up a 3-second time penalty there as well.
That's unfortunate. Well, to be fair, it's not as unfortunate because she would be 13th either way, so... Oh well. It's been a good race for Red, I would say, and it's been a good career that she's had here in F7, and we're going to definitely miss her and all that, and yeah, hopefully she'll get back very, very soon as Jabba makes her move around the outside, but we'll go back on board with the top two as we see Yude now heading in towards the final 2 corners. It turns 15 and then turns 16. The Sauber put a good chance to win the title here, but he wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. But it is Alvaro who crosses the line and wins the Tier 3 Championship. Congratulations, Alvaro. You are a Formula 7 World Champion. What a race.
Nathan has just ran out of fuel. Average Tomo had a spin there, which gave Nathan P8.
Ooh, Tomo down in P11 now. Damn.
There's Red doing some donuts here. That was a lovely race there. Fair play to Yude and Alvaro there, trying to fight one another the entire way. But Yude just with the better tyres at the end there.
And there's Kevin doing donuts. Oh, there's Red as well. Let's get on board with Red. There we go. A little bit of donuts for the final round. What a race, guys. What a season it has been. Congratulations to Mercedes and Alvaro for being the Constructors and Drivers Champions. As Red now is going backwards on track. I wouldn't be surprised if she gets disqualified here. That's going to be funny if she does. But, yeah, it's been one interesting race. And do we get double donuts on the start-finish straight? No, it's not going to be. It looks like Red's going to go over the line and Kevin Gamer. So that is the end of Season X for Tier 3. What a season it has been. What a season. The Portuguese flag waves for Yude on the podium, but it will also wave for Alvaro as he wins the World Championship for Tier 3. What a race. Yes, Bjorn will be doing interviews with the boys. Yude finishes P1, but will finish P2 in the standings. To Alvaro, who wins the Drivers' Championship. Peleback turns it up to P3. Doug P4, Tojo P5, Superskills P6, Syndra 7th, Nathan 8th, Jabba P9, Magi P10, Tomo P11, Nimblecat P12, Lanzi 13th, Gravy 14th, Podge 15th, Bread in 16th, Kevin 17th, VRB in 18th, Nick June 19th, and Craig Ray in 20th. And personally, driver of the day to Alvaro, because championship. And if you want to be real, it would be Peleback, because, come on, 13th to 3rd, that's crazy stuff.
I can't grab the race director.
I'll do it now.
The winner screen.
There we go. So the podium interviews will be held in the podcast room, but I'm going to move us to the driver's lounge. Okay, Jan? Driver's lounge, there we go. Alright, so now we just wait for Alvaro, Pele, and Yude. Oh, hi, Alvaro. There we go, Jan. Okay, I don't know what's going on. Everybody's in and out. What is happening? Jan, what is going on? I'm so confused. What is happening? Are you having fun? Oh. I see. Hold on. Connect, speak, save changes. What is happening? Can't join a VC? Right, okay, hold on. Let me try and figure something out. I think Yude is the only one. Actually, no, Yude is in thingy. Meet me over in comms box in realistic, because I know that one works. Hi, Jack. You're the first one to actually be able to join. The other three are still struggling.
What can I say? I'm a unique little man. Actually, I'm a big man. Big and scary. Amen.
Yude, realistic VC. I'll just tag him saying realistic VC and see if that works.
It's a pretty interesting race. Oh, why is Kevin? It's Kevin here.
Don't worry about it.
What's bro doing?
We're having a little bit of technical difficulties here, Jack. Not gonna lie. There we go. There's Yawn
Pineapple.
back. There we go.
Yo, may I
Driver
ask
of the
a
day
question?
goes to Pelevac, mate, because 13th to 10th.
Hello, Bro,
We just need to wait for Alvaro and Yude now.
Yawn.
Yawn, why are you in 2 VCs?
Yeah, yawn. Can I have you muted or something? Or is he not speaking?
No, he's I was gonna say you need to. I'm just gonna disconnect him in the other one, see if that helps. Right, give it time. We'll get everyone sorted. For some
Go on,
weird
I'll take
reason, the VC wasn't
Do
working.
a 2-minute interview.
Oh yeah, 100% Nathan. It was good. I enjoyed it. A lot of talking, mainly because Jon wouldn't speak half the time. Mean.
No, if I buy a PS5 by October, I'll be back on comms once.
Big up, me and Jack on comms for next season. Let's go. That's if I can be bothered getting up at 10 AM.
And if not, I'll do it.
Yeah.
If I'm not racing in Tier 3, because I'm so slow.
Well, you'd be surprised, Jack.
I'm very slow. I've not touched the game in
So
ages, and I'm doing Tier 1 tonight. And I'll laugh.
Is everybody
promise I won't
here?
laugh.
We're missing Alvaro. Where's Alvaro and Yude? Where are the Portuguese, man?
Men.
Do they have access to this?
You should.
Oh no, they don't. Hold on, let me fix that real quick.
You
Team
muppet.
principal.
You absolute muppet.
I didn't know.
Absolute muppet.
Right, okay. They
Oh,
should be able to see it now. They should be able to see it.
Oh,
There's Alvaro, and now we're just waiting for Yude. Dog, shut up.
You can't call you on that. That's not very nice.
My mum doesn't bark, but okay. There we
She's a
go.
dog. Sorry.
Thanks, Jack. Anywho's, we'll now go on to the podium interviews. So, first off is Pele back for the P3. You weren't in for the championship title fight, but you did have an amazing race nonetheless, Pele. So, walk us through that race, man. That was a very interesting one, to say the least.
Oh, yes.
Silence, yes, I agree.
Now,
There we go.
There we go.
I thought I'm gonna be higher up for the race, qualify, but when I qualified so low, I started on medium because of gaining position at start. I was quite aggressive and have good pace, and yeah, I didn't manage to undercut Alvaro. Was my plan, but yeah, it was still a good race, a good pace. So yeah, I'm very happy and congrats to Alvaro for the world championship this season. He deserves it.
That was good words, Pele back. Generally, mate, it was just a very good race. You know what I mean? You stayed out of trouble, 13th to 3rd and all that stuff. So congratulations on the podium, man. It's good to see you back.
Just want to ask
Go
about
on.
your prospects for next season. What are your hopes and aspirations for the seasons to come? Any championships in the mix, or are we good with wins?
Try to win this season, and I try to win the Tier 2 championship as soon as possible next season. That's the goal.
Well, good
Yeah.
luck to you, my friend.
Yeah, thanks.
So we will now speak with Yude, because we'll save Alvar for last. I think he'll like that. So, Yude, man, you came so close to winning the title. All Alvaro needed to do was finish 3rd, and you would have had it by 1 point. It must be slightly frustrating, but knowing it's a fellow Portuguese driver that bet you, you must be a little bit happy that the Portuguese flag still waves on the top step of the podium.
Well, I am. I am a bit frustrated, and I am happy for Alvaro. It's our first podium as a P1 and P2, so Alvaro, we got our mission complete. But yeah, qualifying was difficult. I knew that Pileback and Average Tomo and Alvaro, they all three were faster than me. So I was trying to manage the tires and doing my runs. That incident with Doug is just what it is. Two people on the outlaps. Each one of us has a different breaking point. So I think it is what it is. I think I did great, actually. And in the race, it was a great strategy, being behind Alvaro in the lap 15, so he doesn't follow me into the pit lane, so I don't have to fight all the way. Got the undercuts 3 seconds ahead and just managed the gap and hope for someone to get Alvaro or Alvaro get a 3-second penalty, but he managed that good. He did good.
Yeah, and honestly, God, it was a great race from you today. I mean, you managed to win the race ahead of Alvaro, even though he qualified first. So, in general, it's just been an amazing race for you, Yude.
And an amazing season, let alone.
Aye, that too as well, yeah. But thank you for coming in, Yude, and hopefully next season it's another great championship fight for yourself, man.
Yeah, thank you, and congratulations, Alvaro. You are a world champion, mate!
Thank you, mate, thank you.
So we now go and speak with said world champion, Alvaro, man. Oh, it's been a long journey in F7, mate. Been one long season, man, and you've came out on top. How does it feel to be another I say another world champion, but I don't think you've won one before.
All right, guys, allow me this. Vamos, caralho! Okay, so that's good, mate. I had to get out of the system, come on.
Yeah.
That was the most stressing race of my life, probably, to be honest, when the season started. Didn't have too many hopes. I was a bit doubtful if I would want to race a full season again. So I just joined, and I was a bit skeptical. So, yeah, to end up in top in the top. It's just amazing. I think it was a very long season, as you said. Me and my teammates started in the wrong foot, with the first 2 races. But then it was just such a competitive division. I think it's safe to say that it was the most competitive division of the whole tiers, And being so competitive, I mean, and me being consistent and in the top places, week in and week out, allowed me to win the championship, even though I didn't have the most wins. But yeah, that's it, my friend. I'm very happy over them on.
Yeah, man, it's.
Just want to make you aware, Alvaro. So now you've won the champion, drinks are on you for when we come to Portugal. I'm just letting you know that now.
Yeah, of course. Oh, wine is on the house, okay, mate?
Yeah.
All right. Just allow me to say some words to my competitors. I mean, especially Yudi, because even though we are competing against each other, you guys can see that we practice together. When I do practice, and for example, last week I didn't have too much time to practice. So when I did practice with Yudi, he helped me with the setup. Now, yesterday or 2 days ago, we practiced together. He was struggling a bit with his setup, so I gave him my setup. And so, even though we are competing, we are still helping each other and getting better, And so, big up to Yudi. I'm very happy for him. I'm sure he will be like a very good prospect. He's already a very good prospect, and he will be the fastest Portuguese driver here in F7. But for now, experience still won. Just for now.
Yeah. Well, parabens
And,
Alvaro and parabens Yudi. And if anybody wants to say anything now, they can. May as well. I just want to get that out of my system.
I just wanted to say shout out to everyone. I mean, we have a very good community, and the messages from everyone, the support, it's unbelievable. So thank you to Nathan and all admins and the CEOs and everyone who makes this league what it is. And thank you, everyone. I will answer your messages, but I feel the love. Thank you so much. And Nathan, I'll take 3 for next season, baby. Let's go.
Well, thank you guys for coming into the comms box. We will now end the stream. So thank you guys for tuning in today. It's been one hell of a season from all the Tier 3 drivers. And hopefully we can see the same thing for next season. A lot of drivers will be moving up to Tier 2. So if you guys like some of them, like Alvaro, Yude, Pele, they'll be in Tier 2 for next season, so maybe watch it. It's a little bit later on at 12:30. Speaking of, we do have a race in just 30 minutes for the Tier 2, obviously. So if you guys want to watch how that ends up with the final round, stay tuned for that. I've been Banana, I've been your commentator. I've been joined by Jackald and YonXD, and it's been a pleasure doing comms this season, and we will see you for next season. Goodbye, and God bless.